Hey, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. And in this video, I'm going to cover a little bit about Gentoo. I installed Gentoo back on August the 11th, and today is August the 20th. So I've been in it about 9 days. And I just wanted to share a few things, and I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. But I do have quite a bit I want to cover and just get right through it. I want to preface this by telling you that I by no means am I a Gentoo expert. I am learning. Also, the installation, I may come back and touch some on the installation, but I'm not going to really go over any of the installation, I don't think. So let's go and get over to my desktop here, and let's bring up my notes. First of all, on my last video, I had installed Firefox as a flat pack. It took 4 seconds or 4 1000s to get open and ready to run. But I was having a problem, and instead of just spending a whole day on it, I did do a few minutes research, and I couldn't figure out why when I would click on a download link, it would not download. It would look like it was, or going to, but it would just sit there, would not download anything. So I uninstalled the Firefox as a flat pack, and I did a search through Emerge and found a binary, a Firefox binary, which means it's already put together. It installed as fast as any other system just about would install it. And I want you to count the seconds now. This is the Firefox binary. 1001, 1002. So twice as fast as the flat pack. And it works just fabulously. And I want you to look at the bookmarks that I've got already. Okay, so when I did make that change, it didn't occur to me to save my favorites, so I lost a lot of those. But I gained them back, but it did take me a few extra minutes. Let me bring up my notes here. This is just some of the software that I've installed since the last video. Some theming and some cursors, papyrus icon, backgrounds, file light, EIC, EIX, EIX. That's pretty cool. It generates a binary cache for your local Portage tree and overlays. It looks like it's a pretty nice piece of software, and I did run it, and it works just fine. Okay. The flat packs that I have installed is LibreOffice. It does work. I installed, I think it's just called Super Tux, but here it's got a name for GitHub Game Retux, and that is right here. See, what is this? Super Tux, not Super Tux Cart. But you know the audio would mess up right there. If it does, I'll cut it out. It does usually work. Maybe OBS is messing with it. So here I just told you about the downloading the Firefox bin. Here's a copy of my use flags as they sit right now. Larry, there's no more also, or 2 also files are gone. Also is in here though, isn't it? Yeah, right here. And it may change. It probably will change. But at this point, I've got most, if not all, the software. There is a couple pieces of software that I'm going to work on trying to get that apparently a little more testy. Like I said, I got most of the software like PC Man FM. Okay, so every once in a while, you're going to run across a masked package, and it'll say masked. It'll be in a square bracket. So let's bring up the website here. This is the Gentoo wiki on unmasking a package. Here's the contents: unmasking a package manually and auto unmasking. Gives you an example. And in this example, they create this folder here called accept keywords /ZZZ _ auto unmask. You can unmask it manually. that's what I did here. Let me go back up real quick and show you the software that I installed even though they were masked. I unmasked them. So I installed Featherpad, Lolcat, which still needs some work, DVD-NG, DVD Styler, and I'm probably going to get some more. But let's go back to the example that they give you right here. This is the example where they're trying to install, what was a game? Huh. It's called Games Redeclipse. Where's that at? Here it is, right? No, Eclipse. Yeah, Eclipse. I got the wrong package, but it'll work the same. We're going to create a directory, which it already exists, so I'm going to skip that part. And then we'll see what the readout says, and that's where we'll pick this up. Let's bring up a terminal. And let's say sudo emerge -av. Let's just copy and games. Should match this readout I already copied and pasted right here. So it says all ebuilds that could satisfy games-fps redeclipse have been masked. One of the following masked packages is required to complete your request. Games FPS redeclipse needs the keyword AMD64. That is the key right there. Once you've created a directory, we need to put that over into it for this software. So how do we do that? Well, book says right here, echo that command into that directory we created, which is called package accept keywords. So we're going to echo that here. I think I need to sign in as root. Clear that. Echo that. That's done. Now we should be able to say emerge. Now you don't have to use the category, but I always like to do it. At least for now. All right, so now we should not get any discrepancy. Verifying ebuild manifest. It's working. This is some sort of game. I'm not sure. So while that's running, emerged red eclipse. Red eclipse. There we go. It's some sort of game. Okay, so I think it's getting a little close. On stage 4. This should be the final game. It's installed all of its prerequisites. Maybe I'm wrong. All games. Red eclipse. Final size of build directory and installed tree. 1.2 gigabytes, 1 gig. So this is getting really close. Doing the install. It's finished. Nice. Get out of this. In fact, I'm going to close the terminal. Let's see if it's in our menu. Games. Red Eclipse. I'll open it up just for the heck of it. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have done this. Should have waited. But at least we're seeing its work. So that's pretty much how you unmask a masked package and install it. It's not really that complicated. It works. Just because it's in testing doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it hasn't made a final entrance into the Gentoo repositories. The multimedia, that's probably the category that's changed the most. Don't let me move you. I want to move you that way. I want to move you this way. There you go. Bring that right on up. Audacity. Bracero wasn't in there last time you saw it, I don't believe. Celluloid, Cheese, DVD, NG, DVD Styler, some music player. I think it may play videos as well. I'm not sure. DUVC view for my webcam, Handbrake, K3B, Caden Live, Make MKV, MPV player, OBS Studio, OpenShot video editor, Parole media player, which I had to do some work on Parole to get it to work as well. Some of the codecs, it would not play a MKV. I'm not sure if it would play any other media format, but it would not play a MKV. There'd be a screen that comes up and says, do you want to install the codecs? You click on yes, nothing happens. So I did some investigation, and now Pro Media Player works just fine. Or I should say it plays MKV. Let's see. Quick here. There's MP4. I think that's the one I just made as a test. Yep. Nope. And some cursors. And the audio works. So that turned out just fine. Pro Media Player, Pulse Audio. I installed Paybu Control. A simple screen recorder, VLC, Voco Screen, XF Burn, and Xine. Q's, K or Q use is finding packages, find packages using use flags. So what if you have a package and you're curious if it uses use flags, you can run the Q's. Just run it here on Thunar. Q's-P, and then whatever software that you're wondering if it uses use flags, and if it does, which ones. Here you can see we're using XF, Introspecting, libnotify, PCRE, plus Trash Panel plugin up here, and the UDisk. UDisk is a backend where it works. That a lot of things use UDisk, like GNOME Disk Utility. I'm sure that uses it. Okay, for the init system, I've installed the one for the OpenRC, and some examples of that would be status, just to show you everything that's in the RC file. Just run a status, just RC status, and that'll show you. Here we got dbus, VirtualBox, SSHD, CronyD, WPA supplicant, which is stopped, DHCP, Network Manager, libvirtd, netmount, and local. Right. So we go here and say -A, we'll get a tree, and if we go up here, we should see level to see at boot, run level at boot. I think this may be important for somebody right here. elognd. In the beginning of my installation, I enabled the service. I ran RC add, and then that service, elognd, as default. No, actually, I instead of default right here, I changed to boot. So default run level for boot, elognd is boot. So as it's booting, it's loading elognd. And I'm not sure that will help anybody or not, but it seems to have helped me. Okay, so I got tired of typing in a 35 mixed character password to try to boot into my own system at my house. So I did some investigation and I found the answer. And let's look at that. I'm not going to use sudo here because I don't need to change it anymore. You'll go to Etsy Security Password DQC.conf, quality check. We'll find these categories in there. Under enforce, originally under enforce, it said everyone. So I changed it to none, and I saved it and closed out, and now I can, I mean, I don't know what the minimum is, but you know, my normal password's around 8 characters. So I was able to go from 36 to whatever I wanted it to be. So to me, that's a pretty good hint right there. I like this. You know, passwords should be personal. Passwords should be up to whatever end user is using the system. And I shouldn't be dictated. If I'm not going to be dictated to what services are running in the background that I don't need or don't need, why should I have the opposite about passwords? I should be able to create my own password right out of the box. You know, if I want to be stupid and have a 2-letter password or love password or whatever, then that's up to me. That's not really up to whoever's engineering this operating system. And that's one of the things I like about Gentoo very much is the resources. And I got OBS Studio going on. I opened up Firefox briefly. We've been looking around at my notes and running some commands. All of that, we're only using 1.3 gigabytes of RAM, and it is running about half of the processor. But again, this is an i3 processor, so not bad. And I was a little concerned about this. The whole hard drive is only 125 gigs or 150 or something. What is that? 120 gigs. So you'll see if all the stuff I got installed, which I said, it's primarily most of what I do want, if not all. I mean, I got an operating system that works fine right now. Rest of it's just trivialities. But I've only used 41 gigs. I still have 61 gigs left. So that's a plus as well. Nice. So again, my menu, I have changed the menu since you saw it last. Most of these are flat packs. Some are not. Some I actually built. So, and you know, there's a lot of stuff to learn, and I'm digging Gentoo. You know, I dreaded the compile times, and true, it did take me a whole weekend to get a system up and running, and that was just the beginning of getting all the software I needed. And by the way, I used Wi-Fi to install everything past that weekend. So once I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get Gentoo installed up and running, the rest of it was done through Wi-Fi, and it just works. Sure, it might take you 20 minutes or even an hour to compile something at a time. But once it's done, there's nothing else to do at that point. So that's going to do it. I encourage you to try Gentoo. If nothing else, just try it. And look at their handbook. If you don't know how to install it, look at their handbook and just follow that handbook. Boot into Linux Mint or boot into their Plasma Live Edition and just copy and paste. You know, it takes a little while, but once you get through, you get a fairly nice system. And I say fairly nice because, you know, I can't say it's the best system, but so far I'm very pleased in it, and I plan on continuing this Gentoo journey. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out, guys. Bye.